5 years ago, I got banned as an investment advisor, which led me on a path to consulting with 17 companies to scale them to 8 figures. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 life-changing lessons that took me from the worst situation of my life to where I am today. So as I said, 5 years ago, I got banned as an investment advisor. And the reason why is because I was running a high-ticket sales business alongside of what I was doing as an investment advisor. And they claimed that I didn't disclose enough information about my business. Now, if anybody here has ever been an investment advisor or held any kind of license, you know that you have to disclose all of your outside business activity. And they basically said that I didn't disclose enough. So that actually takes me right into lesson number 1, which is always think about the future impact of the decisions that you're making today. When they told me that what I was doing was wrong, not disclosing enough information, I worked with the FINRA attorneys, which FINRA is the governing body for investment advisors. I worked with their attorneys and they basically told me that I have a few options. And the best thing that I could actually do is just be barred from the industry instead of letting them continue to investigate everything that I was doing. Because if they did, they would just disclose a bunch of stuff like, money I was making and all these other things. And at the time, I was like, you know what? I don't want to do that. Just go ahead and bar me from the industry. And they told me that it wouldn't have any impact on my reputation whatsoever. Well, guess what? A few months later, all I'm seeing is articles from attorneys all around saying, if you've been hurt by Wes, reach out to us. I'm like, what is this all about? Right? Why are they actually saying this? I didn't do anything wrong. What I did was I had outside business activity that I didn't disclose properly. This had nothing to do with clients whatsoever, but it didn't matter because that was those attorneys' jobs, right? Was to just put out articles and hope that they get someone as a client. So they started hurting my reputation on Google when people would search my name and all of those things. At the time, I didn't care. I was doing other things, so I didn't even think about it. Fast forward until today, that starts to hurt you. It starts to hurt your reputation. And so that's one thing you want to make sure you always do is think about what's the future impact. Had I known then or thinking then the way that I do now, I wouldn't have allowed them to do that. Right? No, I would have actually kept going with the investigation because by the end of it, they would have found nothing and I would have been fine, but I wasn't thinking like that. So that decision then hurt me in the future. And lesson number 3, which is focus on the process, not the end result. One thing that I always did that was a huge mistake was I would think that I can get into a different business that would make money faster. So I got into a coffee shop. I got into a marketing agency. I started getting into all of these things thinking that I would make money faster just to fail and waste thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars and waste my time. When I had this one skill that I was already really good at that could make me a lot of money. So when I started to focus on that, when I started to focus on the compounding effect of my skill and focusing all of my efforts on how I can use that skill to make money and help others, that's when I started to be able to add value to companies because I could teach it. I got to a point in mastery where I could teach it, where I could implement processes. And so whether those companies were working with me on a consulting basis or in my actual sales agency, I'd be able to help them go from where they are to massive amounts of revenue because of this one skill that I had. So double down on that skill and then allow the compounding effect of you focusing on that skill to take place, and you'll see where you can get to from there. So guys, these are the 3 lessons. You can really look at these as almost like cheat codes to be able to catapult your success, not because there's a shortcut to success, but because you could avoid the mistakes and the things that waste your time and money along the way in the process. And that's why you could really utilize these to catapult your success. But I'd love to hear from you down below in the comments. What lessons have you learned throughout your journey that you feel like can help give value to somebody else to shortcut their path along the way in their journey? So guys, I hope you got value from this video, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one.